Abdullah. My matric number is 273134. So today, me and my partner want to discuss about drunk driving in Malaysia. Okay, first, we're gonna talk about drunk driving in general. Drunk driving is a contributed road trauma in Malaysia. No matter where you are in Malaysia, drunk driving is treated as a serious offence, and any person who is found to be operating a vehicle with over the legal limit may face penalties. In all states of Malaysia, the legal blood alcohol concentration (BAC) limit for drivers is below 0.08. In addition to that, it also an offence for a person to refuse to undergo a breath analyzer test for either alcohol or drug if requested by the police. Secondly, we're gonna talk about punishment for drunk driving cases. Understanding the sentiment of the people, Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin has ordered the Ministry of Transport to amend the Road Transport Act 1987 Act 333 to impose heavier penalties on individuals convicted of driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. In this regard, political difference need to be set aside because human lives are at stake. But is there a political will among our leaders to address the issue of drunk driving? Perhaps we can learn from other countries that have imposed those severe and deterrent penalties on drunken drivers in a bid to reduce, if not stop, drunk driving accidents. In Canada, for example, drunk driving is a criminal offence, and if causing death, it is punishable by life imprisonment, and if causing injury, the offenders can face imprisonment of up to 14 years. In United Kingdom, drunk drivers who cause death will be sentenced to 14 years in prison with an unlimited fine and their driving license suspended for 2 years. In Taiwan, government had approved a draft amendment to the penal code which categorized driving under the influence of alcohol and causes death as a murder offence. If the offender intends to cause death, he or she may be sentenced to death. It seems that only with such a heavy penalty will the public take the drunk driving offence seriously. In Malaysia, under the existing law, drunk driving is only subject to Section 45A 1 of the Road Transport Act 1987, which provides for a fine of not less than Rm1,000 and not more than Rm6,000 or imprisonment not less than 12 months. For drunk driving offence that lead to death, offenders are punishable under Section 44 of the Road Transport Act 1987, which carry a maximum fine of Rm10,000 and a maximum jail term for 12 months.
Thank you, Hanan. Then I'm Karen Jen and I will talk about the cases involving drunk driving and the solution to reduce the cases. The first case is the drunk driver charged in death of Food Panda rider in KL collision. A drunk driver has been charged at the magistrate court for causing the death of a foodpanda rider along the Sultan Iskandar Highway. He is said to have driven under influence of alcohol. The offence falls under Section 44, Subsection 1 of the Road Transport Act 1987, which carries a jail term of between 3 to 10 years and a fine of 20,000 ringgit upon convictions. Second case is the drunk driver kills one, injures another on Federal Highway. A car driven by a man under the influence of alcohol caused one death and one injury. The victim, who was a pillion rider on the motorcycle, died on the spot. The motorcycle rider sustained serious injuries and has been admitted to medical center for treatment. The investigation found that the driver was driving under influence, and the outcome of an alcohol content test found alcohol levels in his body to be high. The case was being investigated under the Section 44, Subsection 1 of the Road Transport Act 1987 for driving under the influence of intoxicating liquor or drugs. The third case is the drunk driver plunged car into Myvi motorcycle in Penang. A man is suspected to be driving under the influence of alcohol after he crashed into a car and a motorcycle. The motorcyclist suffered serious head and body injuries, while the driver of the Myvi sustained minor injuries as a result of the accident. The suspect was not injured and later tested positive for alcohol and detained for further questioning. The case is being investigated under Section 44 of the Road Transport Act 1987 for driving under the influence of alcohol and causing injury. To reduce the cases involving drunk driving, there are a few solutions can be taken. First is the amendment of the Road Transport Act 1987. Under the existing law, the penalties for driving under influence of alcohol has been seen as weak and the punishment too lenient. Our Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin has ordered the Ministry of Transport to amend the Transport Act 1987 to impose heavier penalties on individuals convicting on driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. The second is to decrease the blood alcohol content (BSC) limit. Current BSC limit in Malaysia was 0.08. The current BSC limit is not enough to stop the increasing of accident cases due to alcohol. According to the recommendation by the World Health Organization (WHO), BSC limit should be reduced to 0.05. If the BSC can be reduced, more lives could be spared. It can also help to achieve the WHO target to have all countries to reduce death and injuries due to drunk driving by 50% by 2030. The third solution is to restrict on the sales of alcoholic beverage. The sales of alcoholic beverage should be restricted to ensure the effectiveness enforcement of law. In Malaysia, alcoholic drinks can be purchased at any time. We should learn from countries like New Zealand and Netherlands, as they were among the countries that imposed strict laws on alcohol sales. That's it from me. Thank you.